I think all of us in some way or another struggle a little bit with productivity and staying focused to get what really needs to get done. Because it's easy to get all the other things done, but not the things that really, really need to get done. Hey everyone, Becky here. Welcome back to the podcast. It is great for you to join us today. Really excited to kick off summer with you. Over here at our house, summer is in full force. Kids are out of school. One is off to camp this week. We're shuffling everyone around. Our pantry is stocked up with all the snacks and we are looking forward to some sunshine and a little bit more of a lax schedule over the summer, but also have some really fun travel plans. I'm excited that we're headed to Kelowna to be part of DSA Canada here in a couple of weeks. And this year we're actually bringing the whole family along. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're stopping in Seattle for a couple of days on our way back to San Diego, and we got a little Palm Springs trip happening and a couple other things planned throughout the summer, in addition to speaking at some of your conferences. So I'm excited to be with the team at J Bloom in July and Tastefully Simple in August. So lots going on over the summer. And I thought today's topic would be timely, especially if you're sliding right into summer like we are. But really, I think this episode is going to be relevant year around. So today we're talking about productivity in your business and different tools and strategies you can utilize to be more productive as you are really focusing on your direct sales business. And I have to say that direct sales is so interesting because many of you are working a full-time job. Some of you are working part-time jobs, and some of you are exclusively focused on your direct sales business. In fact, we just did a recent survey to kind of look and see who's back at the office working, who may have another income stream or something else that they're doing in addition to direct sales. And the results that we got, or the preliminary results, are pretty scattered across the board. When I was looking through some of the surveys, and I'm like, okay, so there isn't a theme here. We got a lot of people in a lot of different places or in different seasons of their life. And I think that that's pretty cool when it comes to an industry that can support a flexible lifestyle. And I even saw some notes where people said, hey, like I'm working another 3 years before I can retire. And then direct sales is my retirement plan. And I want to build up that business and I want that income coming in. But right now, I have this full-time job that is requiring a lot of my attention. And I've seen other people too that say, I love my job. I'm never going to leave my job, but direct sales is close to my heart and I love having that additional income stream. So we have a range of different schedules and lifestyles and income streams, but even as flexible as it is, I think all of us in some way or another struggle a little bit with productivity and staying focused to get what really needs to get done. Because it's easy to get all the other things done, but not the things that really, really need to get done. So love that we have the flexibility in our business. And while flexibility is such a blessing, it also can feel like maybe some potential chaos. And, one thing that we've said for years and years in direct sales is come join us in this business. In just 20 minutes a day, you can, work your business into the nooks and crannies of your life. And while we may have some nooks and crannies, I also don't love just squeezing things in between things that we also need to get done. So I think it's important that we give our business the love and attention it deserves, which often involves needing to schedule it in, not just squeeze it in. So today I'm going to share with you some ideas to increase your productivity, some ways that you might want to rearrange your work schedule or work habits to better support the goals that you're working towards in your direct sales business. So let's go ahead and dive right into this topic. So first and foremost, we really need to decide when we're working and when we're not working. So I, again, love the flexibility of this business, but somebody had a really, great question the other day. I was listening to some kind of episode, some podcast, I don't know what it was, somewhere. Somebody said something incredible where they said, is that a priority of yours? Okay, well, is it on your calendar? Like where does that fit on your calendar? Your calendar tells a story, right? So I think about our own business. Of course, we have our Modern Direct Seller brand, but we're also really working to build up our Oh My High brand. And for a while, I noticed, because I color code my calendar, because I'm a big nerd like that Oh My High was like this much. A teeny tiny sliver of my calendar was color coded blue for Oh My High. Everything else was pink for Modern Direct Seller, which is great for what we have going on. But if we were really working to shift some focus over to Oh My High, then I needed to adjust my calendar accordingly to make sure that I was putting Oh My High on the calendar and it was actually getting done. So first off, especially as we're rolling into the summer months, I would encourage you to open up that calendar, whether you're using a Google Calendar, an iCalendar, a paper planner, whatever really works for you. I would identify first the days that you are working your business and the days that you're not working your business. So I know for me, like my birthdays just came up. I was not wanting to work on my birthday. I marked that day off my birthday. I'm not going to work that day. I also know like we have vacations coming up, and there are some vacations where it's working a little bit on the go. Then we have other trips that we're completely not working. So as you look at your calendar, first go ahead and cross off those days that you know that you don't want to be working, right? Nobody wants to be working their business constantly, but we do want to be consistent. So be real with yourself. Like if you're only crossing off one day a month saying you're not working, let's be real. Like, are you working every day of the week? Are you working every weekend? Are there times that you really don't want to be working? Mark those off first, because we're building this business around the lifestyle that you want. And then the next thing that I would encourage you to do is don't just write work time. That's a good start, but we want to also get really tactical. And you might need to reevaluate this on a weekly basis. As you're looking at your calendar, maybe I have an hour on my lunch break on Monday. I have an hour in the evening on Tuesday. I have a 30-minute block before I head to work on Wednesday. Thursday's the same. I'm going to work during my lunch break. Friday, I'm going to spend 2 hours after work on my business. So it's great to mark work, but I would also use a time blocking strategy where you're getting really clear, following up with guests that I met at my last event, sharing promotions for the month with my followers, writing email campaign, doing my daily ABCs, active selling, building relationships, creating content, developing my content schedule, batch scheduling using ScentShare, launching a text campaign with Project Broadcast. All of those kinds of things are going to give you an indication of what to do when you sit down at your desk. Because it's really, really easy to sit down and then start fumbling around. We got emails to check. We got social notifications. We got Post-it notes on our desk. We want to be deliberate and intentional about that time when we are working. And I want to share a quick tip with you around AI. I've been using a lot of AI in my business in terms of content creation, right? Like help me outline this podcast, help me come up with a great title for this email that I'm sending out, proofread this course that I just wrote, right? Like those kinds of things I've been using ChatGPT for, but I've recently been leveraging ChatGPT as a productivity tool. And this has been a game changer for me. While for a while I was using a paper planner, and then for a little while I was using my Google Calendar, and then I have some of my tasks over in ClickUp, and then I also have some to-dos over in Front, and let's not talk about my handwritten notes and my Post-it notes, right? Like me and you, we're the same. There's things in lots of places. But one thing I've been doing that has been huge for me over the last month or so is I've been actually speaking into ChatGPT using the microphone. So download the app on your phone, go ahead and use that microphone and just talk into it, especially if you're a verbal person like me. I'm like, give me a microphone. I can just talk into it. But I'm also just kind of downloading all of those things that are floating around in my head, because I don't know about you, but we got too much going on up here, right? Like I'm laying down to go to bed at night and I'm thinking, oh, I really need to record a podcast episode on that. And oh, I forgot to respond to that email on that person. Oh my gosh, there's a Voxer message over here. I also need to make sure that my kids have a sack lunch for camp this week. And I got a birthday present to purchase, and we have Father's Day coming up, and I need to get a gift for, like, all of the things start floating around, right? We're out of yogurt. I got to get the kids their favorite cereal. I promised that I would take them to go do this, right? All of those things that are popping into your head. So I turn the microphone on and I just brain dump. And this is something that I found that happens a lot when I hop on coaching calls, which I'm happy to do. And often our Academy VA peers will pop into a call and be like, this is everything that I have on my list. Like, help me prioritize, help me figure out what needs to get done first and what's going to be the most income producing activities for me. So you can go ahead and kind of brain dump all of that into ChatGPT. And then the prompt that you want to give it is, please take these thoughts, ideas, and tasks and turn them into a weekly action plan or task list for me. I have the following blocks of time available. And you may even want to say, I have 1 hour on Monday. I have 30 minutes on Tuesday. I have 2 hours on Wednesday. Or if you have a more open calendar, you might say, like, Monday, I'd like to batch all my videos. Tuesday, I'd like to work on my email content. Wednesday, I need to take care of personal items, right? So let ChatGPT do a first draft at prioritizing all of those things that are just hanging out there in your brain. Let's get them out of your brain, get them into somebody else's brain, which just happens to be your lovely unpaid intern ChatGPT, right? So once you get the daily plan, you may notice some things are off. Maybe like there was typos or words that weren't quite, the right way, or maybe things are just not prioritized in the way they should be, and you know that. So usually when I'm reading through the output that I receive from ChatGPT, I do another run through. Okay, great. We need to take this item from Monday and shift it to Tuesday. It's actually a higher priority for me to record this before I record that. Please revise and give me an updated version. So, and I always say, please, 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 please. I'm nice to ChatGPT because I want it to be nice back to me. And it will give me an output. So that same thread that I'm working from, which I literally call my brain dump, I am working through each and every day. I'm pulling it up and I'm updating it at the end of the day. Okay, this is what I got done. This is what sadly didn't get done. Here's some other tasks or to-dos that popped up. Here's what needs to be prioritized. And then I'll do another kind of update to my schedule. Friday is my admin day. I need to catch up on things on Friday. Saturday, I want to be with my kids and not work. Sunday, I have 2 hours to finish up a couple of little things that I need to do. And Monday, I'm taking the day off to take my kids somewhere, right? So you can kind of work back and forth with it to prioritize your task list. So that has been huge for me in prioritizing my work. So if you're sitting here thinking, all right, I can go to my calendar, I can identify when I'm working, but I'm getting a little hung up on writing down more than just work, like what is the work I'm going to do? Start engaging with ChatGPT and helping and allow it to help you prioritize what you need done. This has worked beautifully for me, and I've been using the free version of ChatGPT just up until the other day. So you can definitely do this on the free version and get some really, really solid, helpful information on where to prioritize. Okay, the next thing is to really focus on some of the big things you need done in your business. So of course, we have our daily follow-up, our daily ABCs, some of the things that we need to do just to keep our business moving forward. But there's also probably some bigger projects or tasks that are on your to-do list. They probably feel hard. They might feel overwhelming. They may have 5 tasks within one, right? I find when things get stuck on my to-do list, it's something big, like start showing up on Threads. And while that shouldn't be hard, really the first step in that is for me to spend 20 minutes better understanding the platform, and so I can show up in a better way. Or me grabbing the done for you prompts out of SynthShare. So take those bigger tasks and try to break them down into a few small steps that feel much more doable and much more manageable for you. Now, as easy as it is to push off creating that follow-up system or writing that long form content and creating that blog post on a weekly basis, when you do the hard stuff first, your business is going to grow. It probably feels hard because it's a bit out of your comfort zone too. It feels a little scary. It feels a little bit big, right? But we know when we do the hard things first, we start seeing that momentum and that growth in our business. So if you find yourself just doing kind of the day-to-day mundane tasks just to keep your business afloat, I want you to kind of push the pause button and look at your calendar, look at your availability, and decide when you can tackle some of those bigger projects, setting up the email sequence, launching the website, setting up the customer follow-up system and project broadcast. Those bigger tasks may take a solid 2 to 3 hours to complete, right? Or they may take you asking for some help. Hey, will somebody co-work with me while I work to get this set up? Or what resources do you have available on this so I can get this going faster? So definitely don't be afraid to block off some bigger chunks of time to do some of those harder tasks that are going to make a big difference in your business. All right, next up, when the time comes to get that work done, we want to minimize distractions to maximize our results. So, as much as we feel really attached to our phone and feel like we need this next to us at all times, put it on silent, turn it off, put it in another room if you have to, so you can focus. This is not your time to scroll social for inspiration. This is your time to buckle down and get the work done. You can also let your family know in a very lovingly way that you need dedicated focus time. So if you need a snack, go ask your dad. If you need something, it needs to be an emergency to interrupt, right? So set those limits. It might even be with your spouse or with your partner to say, all right, like I need a couple hours this morning just to knock out this big project. And then find your zone. And, some of us have a dedicated workspace at home. Some of you have laptops that you take with you on the go. Sometimes you just need to get out of your regular space, to be honest, right? Like it's a good time working from a coffee shop. I love working from an airplane. Close the door to your office, find a quiet corner, whatever works for you. But find that space that you can be productive, that you're not being distracted. If there's a TV on in the other room that you keep looking over at, I don't know about you guys, but my kids are watching like crazy YouTube videos and I understand why they're addicting because I look over and I can't stop watching because there's something crazy happening. The latest ones they're into are like haunted houses. Like we're going to go explore this creepy house. And I mean, they're very catchy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is like so fake and so silly, but okay. I'm like, let's go. So if you have a distraction like that, let's not keep it within eyes distance. Let's remove it. I love my noise canceling headphones. Literally, they are one of my most favorite things in my life. And if I am working next to my kids and they're watching something or they're doing something, often I'll just pop those on and literally I tune out the entire world. So that might be a strategy for you to consider as well. Now, the last productivity suggestion I'm going to leave with you is tried and true. Many of you have heard of a good old power hour. And the power hour method is really taking a couple of solid work focus times to get some big things done in your business. So this is also really fun with friends. I love the Cuckoo app. It's CUKOO.com. So if you're working with others virtually, you can set a timer, kind of Pomodoro style, where you would work for 15 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. Work for another 20 minutes, take a 5-minute break. You can kind of set your focus time working and then your break time. So power hour, more or less about an hour of time. And some ways that you may want to structure that is the first 15 minutes, all I'm going to do is customer follow-up. The next block of time, I'm just going to focus on booking pop-ups and events and following up with people that have hosted with me before. The next one, I'm going to focus on growing my team. Who do I need to talk to about the business? How can I share some stories about how the business has impacted me? Maybe the fourth block is a social media block where you're creating reels and content. We do a little bit of this actually in our content labs inside the Modern Direct Seller Academy. And not only are we there working together, but it's really fun to share with each other what we've accomplished in a short period of time. Sometimes it can really surprise you that in 15 minutes, you can get that email written, or you can send that text out to your group, or you can send 8 follow-up messages, right? So it's fun to do this with others, but you can definitely do it solo as well. The idea here is that it's laser focused action. We are not scrolling, we're not distracted, we're not bouncing between every open tab on our computer. We're working on one thing and we're sticking to it. So coming in with a plan for your calendar, a plan for your time, a plan for what you're doing when you're working, and then a plan for where you're getting that work done is all going to improve your productivity. So as you're thinking about the next couple of months in your business, which again, it's summertime, and so schedules are a little bit more flexible for many. Look and see where things fit in for your business and be intentional with your time. So even though it's summer, we're not experiencing a summer slide. We are instead really seeing some big movement forward in our business, in the projects that we have on our plate, and then just the day-to-day habits to make sure that we're keeping our business going. So I'm excited for you to take some of these ideas, run with them, implement them. If you found this episode valuable today, please share it. I would so appreciate that. I'd also love a review. I never ask for reviews, and I really should do that more often, but drop a review. I'd love to shout you out on social. When you leave that review on any podcast player you're on, there should be a way to rate the podcast and leave a review. So I am wishing you the most productive day ever. I look forward to seeing you back here real soon. Bye, everyone. This episode is sponsored by CintShare. CintShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to CintShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/CintShare.